Have you ever seen one of those pretty cactus plants with the long segmented leaves and colorful flowers blooming on each end? That's a Christmas cactus. Their colorful leaves give them a one-of-a-kind look, and they're actually pretty easy to care for once you get them going. One cool feature of the Christmas cactus is that you can root a brand new plant just by taking a few clippings from an existing plant. How do you do it? Here is everything you need to know about how to root a Christmas cactus. This plant comes from the mountains of Brazil, and unlike the typical desert cactus, it grows in a cascading shape. Each leaf is comprised of segmented sections. They droop as they grow long, and they're usually topped with pretty little flowers in various shades of white, red, and pink. There are several species of this plant, but the Christmas cactus gets its simple name because it tends to bloom around the holiday season. Propagating Christmas cactus is easy. Christmas cactus propagation usually begins by simply taking a short U-shaped cutting from the stem tip. When doing Christmas cactus propagation, always be sure that cuttings are taken from the healthy foliage. So let's enjoy the beauty of this Christmas cactus few more seconds, and let's go to the propagation closer. Hey guys, it's Natali with Home Gardening. And today I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna propagate and grow cuttings from a Christmas cactus. You guys are really gonna love this one because it's so simple and so easy to do, and truly to say, it's rather easy to care. The Christmas cactus scientific name is Schlumbergera. Each leaf is comprised of segmented sections. Christmas cactus are also epiphytic cactus, which means they do not grow in the ground like most species of cactus. Instead, they thrive in the crevices of rocks and trees, growing in the debris that collects there. So, propagating Christmas cactus is rather easy. Christmas cactus propagation usually begins by simply taking a short V-shaped cutting from the stem tip. When doing Christmas cactus propagating, always be sure that cuttings are taken from the healthy foliage. Allow the cutting to dry a few hours before potting it up for rooting, as to avoid potential stem rot from excessive moisture. The Christmas cactus can be propagated either in water or in soil. So, if you like to getting your hands dirty, then get yourself a pot, a peat sand soil mix, and few cuttings of your favorite existing plant. The best way to root a Christmas cactus in dirt is take between 1 or 4 cuttings from your existing plant, healthy plant. Take them from a dead or dying plant, and you've got a slim chances of bringing it back to life. Start by taking UV-shaped cuttings with a minimum of 2 of these segments attached. Let them sit in a cool, dry place for 3 or 4 days, depending on the conditions in your home. They could be ready to root in as little as 48 hours. The less heat and humidity they've subjected to, the sooner they will be ready to root. Get a flowery pot and fill it with soil that includes that sand and peat mix. You don't want to bury the entire cuttings beneath the soil. You simply want to stand them upright with a segment of the cutting submerged about 1 inch deep. So I usually plant my cuttings like this. I just put the third part of my cutting in the soil, and it's ready, it's planted. Once they planted in the dirt, water them sparingly until you start to see the new growth. They can start to rot if you add too much water. For the best results, place them in indirect sunlight. They need some sun, as most plants do, but they don't need full sun. In other words, don't put your plant on a windowsill that gets direct sunlight all day long. The Christmas cactus also can be rooted in water. To try this method, you'll need a glass jar and few cuttings from a healthy plant. The best way to root a Christmas cactus in water is, first of all, like the dirt rooting method, start with between 1 and 4 cuttings. Each cutting should be approximately 3 to 4 inches long with a minimum of 3 or 4 leaves on each one. Take an empty glass jar and add water. Then place your cutting in it with just the very bottom of them touching the water. Do like this, or maybe I put too much water, but never fill the whole glass with the water. The majority of the cutting should be in the jar well above the water. The humidity in the jar will help your plant to root without rotting. Just make sure that the water doesn't evaporate. Keep an eye on it and add more water as you see it vanished. You'll need to have a bit of patience while your Christmas cactus roots. It will not happen overnight. A successful rooting will take about 2 to 3 weeks. Once you see the roots starting to form, it's time to transplant your new rooted cuttings into a pot where your cactus can actually grow. During the rooting process, you want to keep your cutting watered but not soaked. They need sun, but not too much sun. Propagating a Christmas cactus isn't hard to do, but it may take some trial and error. If you don't succeed in the first time, give it another try. So now when you planted your Christmas cactus, in a few weeks it will give roots and start to grow. In about a month, or it depends on your conditions, you see new growth coming and it will look like this. After 2 more months, your Christmas cactus will grow much more bigger and will look like this. This is a small shrub that can produce flowers. And also in few more months, your Christmas cactus will create new growth, new leaves, and will be much more bigger. And after almost a half of the year from this, you can grow a bush like this. Very beautiful, very fluffy. And that will be a nice shrub that can produce flowers which lasting for a few months. Isn't this bush beautiful, isn't it? I love this shrub. I really love Christmas cactus, and as you can see, new growth is over here coming, new leaves are coming over here, here, everywhere, almost everywhere. Can you see them? And now I will tell you a few words about how to care for a Christmas cactus. Once you've transplanted your rooted cactus, to its proper pot, here's what you will need to do. Water it on a regular basis, especially during the spring and summer. Saturating it can cause it to rot, so you need to water it regularly and thoroughly without saturation or soaking the soil. Plants grow and thrive differently, depending on your specific region and climate. In certain conditions, mild houseplant fertilizer can produce even better results. Generally speaking, the Christmas cactus is a fairly easy plant to root. If you ever tried to plant a garden or grow an indoor houseplant before, you already know two things. First of all, it takes patience. And second of all, it takes practice. When it comes to the Christmas cactus, the most important thing to remember is this. Take your cuttings from a thriving healthy plant. It's nearly impossible to bring something dead back to life, so put your best foot forward and start with healthy cutting to give you the best advantage. So I hope this video was interesting and useful. Don't forget to give this video a thumb up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Happy gardening!